I'm Brad Cooper and welcome to the first edition of Choice Cuts for 2013. The uphill battle to lift Australian beef's market share in Japan just got a bit steeper, with news the government there will relax its beef import protocols on US beef from the start of this month. It means that for the first time since restrictions were imposed in December 2003 in the wake of US beef being detected with BSE, beef from US cattle less than 31 months old will be allowed in the country. That's good news for the US, which is scrambling to find all the beef it can after years of herd decline in the face of its worst drought in history. But not so good for exporters, who compete with the US to win more share of the beef yen from our largest overseas customer. Exporters I've spoken to this week say they are not overly worried, as they feel confident the US won't be able to lift supply in the short term and provide a product at a price that will make Australian beef uncompetitive. That view has been backed up by MLA economist Tim McRae, who is keeping a close eye on developments and says the Japanese meat trade is also not overly optimistic of seeing lower prices. Projections for the US surge are also wildly disparate, with increases on 2012 volumes varying from 45% according to the US Meat Export Federation and 18% being quoted by the Steiner Consulting Group. Now here's some good news out of Asia. With the two highest monthly beef import volumes on record in November and December 2012, annual Chinese beef imports during last year went sky high to 61,386 tonnes shipped weight. And that's a staggering 205% above 2011 and 366% higher than the 5-year average according to Global Trade Atlas. Our competitors in China, namely Uruguay and Brazil, are also doing big business in China, so this will be an exciting market to watch in 2013. As quoted by MLA Analysis, rising retail red meat prices in China helped drive the increase in Chinese red meat imports during 2012. Retail prices for boneless beef during 2012 averaged $7.10 Australian, that's 22% higher than 2011 and 104% higher than 2007, according to the Ministry of Agriculture of the People's Republic of China. And now to my beef of the week. While exporters want fairer access for Australian beef and northern beef producers want a government champion for the live export trade in Indonesia, Prime Minister Julia Gillard has appointed a fierce opponent of the boat business to Parliamentary Secretary for Trade. Well, apologies here for my mixed animal analogy, but is that like putting the wolf in charge of the flock? Despite Kelvin Thomson's argument that he will be promoting the government's policy and not his own personal agenda to ban live exports, it's difficult to tell where exactly the Gillard government stands on the issue, given its track record. And top of mind is the disastrous 2011 live ex ban and the appointment of former New South Wales Premier Bob Carr to be Foreign Minister, who is also a proud member of the animal rights organisation Voiceless, which is opposed to producing food from animals. Julia, it's time for a Please Explain.